As an EMT, first responder, paramedic, we're exposed and share moments in people's lives that will most likely change their life forever. We meet these people in possibly one of the worst moments of their entire life. And there's parts of being an EMT and a paramedic that are not shared. That's what this whole channel is about. I want to tell you what you need to hear so it'll help you moving forward. And the reality is, there's a huge emotional toll from working on an ambulance as a first responder, whether you're volunteering or getting paid for it. There's a lot of emotional challenges, man. I tell you, bro, like my first pediatric arrest, a little boy was drowning in the Bronx, and when we found him, there was no reviving him, bro. I'll never forget it. You know what I mean? And you got to figure out how to deal with these things because you're not only dealing with stuff at home from the everyday stressors of living your life, but you're also dealing with it at work. Think about it. You're driving around in this huge billboard that has the company name or the hospital name on it. Your uniform is a billboard, and then it's full of germs that you can't really see. They're microscopic germs, and there's bacteria and viruses, and then you go in nursing homes and hospitals, and those are germ factories as well. And there's a huge emotional physical toll from working the ambulance. But I did it for over 20 years and I'm perfectly fine. So that doesn't mean quit your job. It's just I want to share with you some of the things that people may not have mentioned to you, or they speak about it very superficially, or even worse, they speak about it, but they're not leading by example. These are people who may be brothers and sisters as first responders, but they're not the greatest source of information. Think about your EMT or paramedic instructor who's telling you about protect your mental health while smoking a cigarette on the break. Like, how are you protecting your health if you're smoking cigarettes or vaping or doing dip and Zyn and you got a freaking 32-ounce can of Red Bull? You know what I mean? So the greatest source of information comes from someone who's leading by example. And there's physical demands. For example, there's emotional tolls, there's physical demands. You got to carry people. Sometimes these people are suffering from obesity and they may weigh 500 pounds. Like I remember I was in a nursing home, a bariatric nursing home, and my partner was diabetic and he was not strong. He was literally a liability for me because if and he was like, "No, we don't need no backup." Luckily, my experience said, "No, bro. I'm not going to risk my back and hurt myself, potentially have a paralysis or something just because you think that we don't need backup." And this person definitely warranted backup. And what made it worse is that he suggested that we did not call backup because he was embarrassed of what the other people would think, but yet he was a diabetic who didn't lead a healthy lifestyle, and he was definitely weak. So I just want to tell you guys, there's physical demands, and sometimes those demands will fall on you. I've worked with women who were 8 months pregnant on the ambulance in the New York City 911 system. So, as a gentleman, I was doing the heavy lifting and everything that needed to get done. I did it because she had to make ends meet. She had to work. She had to prepare. If not, she wouldn't be on the ambulance at 8 months pregnant. I've worked with elderly partners over the age of 65. Like you're considered to be elderly once you're 65 and older. So there's physical demands, and it all depends on your partner. Depends on the call. It depends on so many different things. But just please understand, you gotta stay healthy. That's one of the reasons why almost every single video I'm promoting health amongst us, because there's mental health issues and physical health issues. You need to be mentally resilient. And that's something that a lot of EMTs and paramedics do have. For example, We're able to do CPR and treat somebody while the family's crying. We're able to perform while the stakes are very, very high. So we're very resilient mentally. Now we just have to make sure that resiliency matches our mental health as far as depression is concerned and our physical health. There's a lot of sacrifices, man. Sometimes you got to take the day that you will spend with your family on the ambulance. Like, bro, I worked pretty much every single holiday I had the chance to because they automatically gave you time and a half. So if you're working as an EMT, here's another thing. You're pretty much guaranteed to have financial issues. As a first responder, there's no financial abundance. So please understand that. And the sacrifice is very big because a portion of the money you make is given to you through the satisfaction of helping somebody. So what I mean is, yes, you like fire department EMTs to start, they get paid like $35,000 a year. If I were to make less than that a month, I'm stressed out. But that's besides the point. There's a huge priceless satisfaction that comes from helping somebody, from saving a life, from delivering a baby, from doing the work that we do. And it's very satisfying. I dare to say it's more satisfying than money. So what ends up happening is our body, our life is made to do what's good for humanity. Think about it. When you think about having sex, would you really get naked and exchange bodily fluids with somebody unless it felt good? It's the same thing. We're pre-wired to do things that help humanity and increase our chances of survival. So helping somebody, holding the door for somebody is one of the reasons why you feel so good because you're helping humanity. So for first responders, whether it's police officers, firefighters, or paramedics, the allure of wearing the uniform, the allure of stepping off the ambulance and helping people, it's part of your compensation. But that comes with lack of recognition because yes, in the moment, they may be praising you or thanking you, but you also have to be ready that in the news, if a firefighter or a police officer just so happened to remove a splinter from somebody's finger, there's like a news conference around it. But a paramedic may just do something way more complex and save somebody's life, like really, really give medications and intubate somebody and defibrillate them and really give them a fighting chance to live another day. And that does not get recognized. Remember, in the fire department of New York, going from paramedic to firefighter is a promotion. It should be inverse because of the scope of practice of a paramedic is way more complex, requires more brain power. So you also have to be ready that a thing that's not mentioned much is the lack of recognition. And another thing is it's unpredictable, bro. I don't mind it personally, but one moment you may just be scrolling on your phone or reading a book, and then the next moment they're calling you because a police officer is being assaulted or a police officer got into an accident or one of your coworkers is being assaulted by a person who's emotionally disturbed. So you got to be prepared to shift, to respond to different things. And one of the best ways, I've said it before and I'll say it again, is to accelerate the learning curve. How do you accelerate it? Watching videos like this, asking me questions, and most importantly, getting on the ambulance because work works. The more hours you work in a busy area, the faster you will learn and be good. Another thing that they don't mention is interpersonal challenges, bro. At the beginning, like when I started, I remember I had a partner who brought food and she was from another country and I didn't have much people skills. So I told her her food stinks and she got offended. She almost kicked me off the ambulance. I was like 18 years old. She's like, yo, take the fucking train, bro. Get out of my face. So you have to realize if you're in this box, for lack of better terms, with somebody for 8, 12, 16, 24 hours, there's going to be a difference of opinion. Like you may like this radio station, I may like that one. So you have to realize that the relationship with your partner could either make a shift very pleasant or make it the worst shift of your life. Like if your partner doesn't know how to hold the stretcher, he could or she could mess up your back. Or in my case, if you look at the video, it's titled Three Bloods in Brooklyn, something like that. It was like a gang thing. Bro, my partner wanted a fight and he was not being a patient advocate and he was disrespecting the patients in one of the worst neighborhoods in Brooklyn, New York. And it was a hot summer night and there was no police available because we kept hearing the radio. I think it was like during the West Indian Day parade on the night of, and everyone was busy, bro. Like the whole system was busy on a Saturday night. And here we are pretty much by ourselves with no mace, nothing, no baton, nothing, like literally no defense except our self-defense. And he had none because he had freaking gynecomastia, which is breast in men. But I had martial arts and like street savvy, and that's all I had to defend myself. I didn't have a partner. I was literally by myself. And this guy started belittling them. He started being passively aggressive. And luckily, you know, watch the video. The story's there. But long story short, you have to deal with partners that may be a liability and may put your life in danger. Remember, this video is titled What They Don't Tell You About Being a Paramedic or an EMT. They just want to be honest with you. Now, one of the best ways to be able to deal with the stuff that I'm mentioning is have positive venting mechanisms. So what the back of the ambulance looks like to me, it looks like a patient treatment compartment. It looks like a mobile hospital. And it also looks like a gym. Like literally, I'm 5'9", 165 pounds. In the back of and you'll see there's videos that I've uploaded where I'm working out in the back of the ambulance. Put the AC on blast if you're in the hot weather. Put the AC on blast. Take off your uniform shirt. Make sure you have a t-shirt under and just start working out. Pick up the oxygen enough times and it gets heavy. Take out the stretcher, mop the floor, and then do push-ups with gloves on. Like you got to have positive venting mechanisms on the job and off the job. Like most people have a hard week of work and then think that going to the bar and drinking beers is a good way to de-stress. You're actually just making things worse. I recommend you go to a martial arts dojo. So you got to have positive venting mechanisms. And by the way, it's worth it. Like if I had to do it again, I would. Like remember, I'm retired now. I'm no longer playing the game. I'm coaching the game. I'm here to help you guys. But if I had to do it again, I would. Like I'll jump on the ambulance right now. I literally have no problem with it because it's worth it. It's totally worth it. This job will change your life and improve your life as long, just like everything else. Everything can become a blessing if you treat it as such. So working as a paramedic, increasing your tolerance to stress, handling crazy situations, all the stuff you learn, even how to splint, even how to control bleeding and help people and take vital signs will help you in your personal life as well. So yeah, is it worth it being an EMT, dealing with all the shit that I mentioned? Yeah, it is, in my humble opinion. All right, guys, I hope this helps. If you have any other questions, any other video suggestions, let me know. I got you. Peace.